I must have had a very contrasting face compared to David today, because this is two separate people that I get the same comment from. Good morning. Today we are going to be doing some recording. I'm going to be recording David doing a flute, Japanese flute, and we are at my old place of employment, Snaggletooth Studios. So I used to do audio engineering here and among other things, clean the bathroom, shampoo carpets after people spilled beer, stuff like that. So my friends Isaku and Walter rent out this space, and so I'm going to be recording David in here today. Now I'm off to a Taiko gig at a library near Cal State Northridge. And we're sticking with David, so David's on this gig also. So even though I don't consider myself an audio engineer, I know enough to be able to help people on their projects and generate a little extra income. And I think having different skills as a musician is really important to be able to diversify your income, because if you're just relying on gigs, there's a good chance that that's not going to be something that you can totally rely on. Being able to have different skills that you can use to make some money is never a bad thing. The gig is done. It is dark. We went to eat. I went to eat with David afterwards, and Risa, my girlfriend, just happened to be at an event just down the block from where we were. So we met up for a late lunch, and then I also met up with someone who I used to play Taiko with, and then we had boba after. So it is many, many hours after the gig. But the thing that really stuck with me at this last gig was, well, one, it was at a library, and you might think that's kind of weird, drums at a library, and yeah, it is a little weird. I always feel kind of like I'm breaking the rules when I play at a library gig. But the people that showed up had a lot of really great questions. They were a great audience. Afterwards, I had a gentleman come up to me. He said that I looked solemn, and David, I guess, looked happy when he played. And he was asking me, why is that? And the short answer is, I don't remember exactly what I told him, but the short answer is, like, that's just how I play. That's always how I've played. And so, I kind of brushed it off, and he's like, oh, okay, I let him know, like, we all have different personalities, and that kind of shows through our playing a lot of times. That's not something that I usually hear after a gig, but cool. And then a little while later, a lady comes up to me and says, I noticed you looked very stern and concentrated when you played. And I was like, damn, man, I must have had a very contrasting face compared to David today, because this is two separate people that I get the same comment from. And towards the end, that same woman basically said, like, like, performing is more than just playing the music. Basically like it's showmanship too. I was like, dang, lady, I wasn't expecting like a harsh critic today. But you know what? She does have a point, and I've had this issue come up. Sometimes people want you to look more lively or more happy when you play. And honestly, that's just not how I play naturally. Maybe it's from coming up playing in marching band. There was the very first marching band I was in 7th grade. The drum section was very like, you don't smile, you look straight ahead. And then in high school, it wasn't so like, don't smile, but it was like, you're looking straight ahead, you're kind of expressionless. And probably since those were the things that I liked playing in, and I was playing in those things as I was growing up, that probably is ingrained in me as a performer. So to try to break that habit is really hard, and it feels very unnatural. So if someone were to tell me to like smile when I play, I think it's going to look very fake. Then it becomes acting, and I don't know if I can pull that off because I'm not an actor. The people that made those comments definitely have a point. I'm not gonna try to look like David when he plays as far as like his facial expressions. Like, that's just very much David. But I can try to look less like I want to murder someone when I play Taiko. So yeah, that was a very interesting and thought-provoking comment that I got today. So that's it for today. If you can see me, thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next gig sometime next week.